Hello everyone! Happy Monday! Sarah here with Autoimmune Tribe. So while you guys are hopping on, I want to give everyone a minute to join us. I thought I would start with a little affirmation. So I'm going to pull a card for all of us today from the Universe Has Your Back deck and see what the universe has to say. So we are about to embark on this 3-day self-love challenge, and I ask that we all receive a healing, loving message for our souls today. Okay. Oh, this is so funny. I drew this card yesterday, you guys. It says, I'm unapologetic about what I desire and trust that what I focus on will grow. And I just posted this card on Instagram. Here it is. I'm unapologetic about what I desire and trust that what I focus on will grow, which works really nicely for this whole challenge. Number one, being unapologetic about taking care of ourselves. Number two, focusing on self-love and putting, time and energy into learning and how we can take these tools and start to cultivate deeper self-love in our life. And as we focus on that, more self-love is going to blossom into your life as well. Okay, so looks like we have got some people live, so let's start. I am thrilled to be hosting this free 3-day self-love challenge, and I was inspired to create this challenge because of a few things. The first is that I hear so many women in the Autoimmune Tribe Facebook group comment that this is one of their biggest challenges, putting themselves first and loving themselves, or just letting go of self-judgment, letting go of this sense of self-criticism, right? So if you relate to that, give me a hands up in the comments. Let me know you're here. And if that sounds like you, let me know. The second kind of inspiration that came from me to create this challenge is that I know this feeling and this lack of self-love. And I used to self-sabotage, definitely. I would do several things. I would constantly kind of be picking at my skin, whether it was my arms or my face or my chest, out of anxiety, out of kind of this lack of self-love. And our skin is our outer shell to the world in the way that we're perceived, in the way emotionally it has, when we have symptoms of the skin, it's often how we are perceived. It's anger, it's frustration, it's our confidence, and so many things. And so I just remember being in that kind of hole and it not feeling good. I would drink more than I knew I should. I would put my self-care items on my sacred to-do lists at the bottom. They were never making it to the top. I wasn't putting myself first. I would conform to the people around me in order to feel liked, like I wanted to be, included, and compromised, my authentic self for what people wanted to hear and people wanted to see. Does any of this sound like you guys? Let me know. So none of this made me happy, right? None of this filled me up inside. I remember this one moment in college, and this is a vulnerable share for me today. I was, I don't know why exactly I remember this moment either, but I was on a walk with a guy that I was dating, and we walked over to the tennis courts on the college campus, and there was this ledge that you could sit on, and it looked over the tennis courts. And I remember the air was crisp, and it was like this pretty fall day, kind of like the same time of year that it is now. And all I could think about was how unaligned I felt in that moment, and how unaligned or out of alignment my whole life felt in that particular period of time. And I felt stuck, and I felt frustrated, and I vocalized that to this guy that I was on this walk with, and I said, I hate who I am right now, and I have this hateful feeling inside of me, and I hate that feeling that does start to erupt and start to come up, and it's like, how can I get rid of it? And my previous coping mechanisms and solutions were always just to bury it. And so I just really felt like I was crawling out of my skin and unsure of how to change the circumstances, how to change the situation, how to bring in more self-love into my life from a place that, this was probably like 2007 maybe, so it's like 10 years ago, right? And, but I still remember it. I still remember how heavy that feeling, that lack of self-love and self-hatred really felt inside my body and my soul. So I don't want any of you to feel that way. I don't. I want you to feel alive and full of love and life and inspiration and freedom and abundance in your life. So before we dive in, let's just talk a little bit about what self-love is, all right? So what does self-love mean to you? Let me know. Have you guys thought about that before? I think it's kind of this like mystifying thing, this self-love, right? But what does this actually mean? What does it mean to you? And so I think that there's probably not one right answer or definition of what self-love is, but it means something a little different to all of us based on our value systems and our beliefs and how we want to take care of ourselves. So how does self-love look like? What does it look like for you? I love this from Brene Brown. She writes, practicing self-love means learning how to trust ourselves, to treat ourselves with respect, and be kind and affectionate towards ourselves. So that's a good starting point. It's a good foundation, right? Here's another one from her. Boundaries are a function of self-love and respect. And loving ourselves through the process of owning our story is the bravest thing that we will ever do, right? So what does self-love mean to you? Comment below, let me know. To me, self-love is the scariest and most liberating thing at the same time. We confront ourselves head on. We look at ourselves in the mirror and say out loud, I love you. We own our story, we accept our imperfections, we take care of ourselves, we put ourselves first, we say no. We say yes, but more importantly, we say no. We have strong boundaries. We have a deeper sense of what our soul craves, and we listen to our intuition. We say loving things to ourselves. We tell ourselves that it's okay. And we accept our mistakes. We allow ourselves to be vulnerable, and we have strong values that allow us to really know ourselves. We let our needs be met instead of burying them. Self-love is brave, it is honorable, and it is necessary amongst all else, right? So are you guys ready? Are you guys ready to start to cultivate this deeper sense of self-love? Are you craving that in your life? Do you have a story around self-love that's similar maybe to just that feeling, that moment of my life that I explained before? Let me know. So if you're ready, comment yes in the box. Are you ready for more love, self-love in your life? Today's challenge is on raising your consciousness. So let me tell you more of what I mean by that. Some of you guys are listening now because you just like the materials that I create and you're in Autoimmune Tribe and you're like, why not? I'm just going to listen to what Sarah has to say today. Some of you are listening because you think, hey, yeah, maybe I could love myself more. Maybe this will be good for my healing. Okay, maybe there's something to this emotional part of healing autoimmune disease, right? And then others of you also are very aware and notice how much self-talk that you have, and you are craving that support and that help in your life. So we're all at different places, right? And we can acknowledge that, and we can all still be here having a shared experience, knowing that we're all on our own paths. So I'd like for you to take a moment and just consider where you're at. And of those three categories, maybe you fall in, maybe you don't, maybe you're in your own category, but where are you at with your self-love? And if you had to rate this level of self-love from 0 to 10, where would you fall? Put in the comments. If you're feeling brave today, let me know what you would rate yourself in your level of self-love. So 0 being self-hatred, 10 being I'm a freaking goddess and I love everything about me, right? Did that make some of you guys uncomfortable just to hear me say that level 10, I'm a freaking goddess and I love everything about me? If it did, I want you to repeat it or write it down 3 times. I am a freaking goddess and I love everything about me. I don't care if it makes you feel uncomfortable, because if it makes you feel uncomfortable, you're the one who needs to be writing that down, right? The things that make us uncomfortable are often these little doorways into our deepest growth. It's pretty cool. I believe that the discomfort also comes from society that we are in, that we live in today, as well as the environment that we grew up in, okay? So I want to go a little deeper into this here, and why maybe you are uncomfortable with saying I'm a freaking goddess and saying, yes, I freaking love myself. So did adults in your life, and it doesn't have to necessarily have been adults, anyone older than you, mentors, people you looked up to, could have been siblings, parents, aunts, uncles, teachers, whatever. But did people in your life tell you that you were strong, smart, and beautiful? Was that reinforced for you in your life? Yes or no? Did your mother act as if she loved herself? Right? Reflect on that for a second. What was her behavior towards herself? What was her relationship with herself? Or is her relationship with herself, right? But I want you to look back on what you were mostly surrounded by as a child, because now we're adults and we probably don't live with our mothers anymore. So we're not, in that environment as much, but we were very much so, or whoever raised you, whatever home you were in, right? Did that female figure act as if she loved herself? Yes or no? If not, then how did she treat herself, right? If adults in your life didn't tell you you were smart, strong, and beautiful, what did they tell you? Or was it there just a silence? Did you grow up thinking that doing things for yourself or taking care of yourself was selfish? Yes or no? Did someone tell you that? Or was it the behavior that you saw around you? Just start to reflect on that and let me know, what comes up for you? What stories come up? Okay, so let's all just take a step back here, having those questions, kind of getting our brain turning and thinking, and let's look at the story that we've created around self-love, right? We've all created some sort of story around self-love. So what are the first things that come to mind for you? What are the first things that come up when you think of self-love, right? Word vomit, write that down, self-love equals word association, right? What comes up for you? What is the story around self-love? So here's a little bit of mine. I was reflecting on this earlier today. You already heard me talk about some of the ways that I wasn't loving myself and I wasn't taking care of myself, especially in college, right? I thought self-love was selfish. That was a limiting belief, among many other limiting beliefs that also kind of fed into that and supported that limiting belief that self-love was selfish. I also believed that you had to be going, doing, whether that was doing homework or working or doing the laundry or cleaning the house, whatever, right? If you weren't going, doing, then the belief of mine was that you weren't worthy of success, love, or happiness. Does anyone else feel like they've had that belief before, currently, or maybe they've disproved it and allowed it to dissolve? So to slow down in my life, my story, to slow down and take care of myself would have been weak. I saw that as weak, and I didn't want to be weak. I wanted to be a freaking warrior, and I wanted to be strong. And I didn't see how you could slow down and at the same time still be strong. When in fact, right, there's a lot of things we can reflect on and learn, right, is that the truth is that we can be so much stronger if we can slow down. That going, doing only makes you weaker. It does not make you stronger, right? So I also look back upon the female lineage and ancestry in my life, especially the women that I have known, and I see women who put themselves last, all along family lines. And I didn't think that was a bad thing, right? I just thought that's how it was. Women put themselves last. and that's how it is, and I should do that too, right? And this lasted for many, many years until I was shown a different path and discovered a different way of creating this relationship with myself. And I think that your relationship to yourself is the most important of any relationship that you will ever have in your life. So again, what is your story around self-love? What comes up for you? Can you look back on some of the female lineage in your life, and can you think about the moments that you've had this lack of self-love, and start to build your story and your beliefs and your habits and your thought patterns, right, around this conversation that we have with ourselves every single day. So today's challenge, day 1 challenge, is to raise your consciousness around your negative and positive self-talk, okay? So I want you to get really intentional here. Grab a piece of paper and a pen, that's all you need today, and I just want you to take the piece of paper and draw a line down the middle of it, okay? New, fresh piece of paper. It can be a scrap paper as long as it's just fresh piece of paper. You draw a line down the middle, and on the left side of the page, I want you to write any loving thoughts that come up between now and tomorrow's call, okay? Day 2. So on the right, so on the left, again, any loving thoughts that come up. On the right, I want you to write any of the negative self-talk. So here are just some examples to help you guys understand. I don't want you to write these down. I want them to be your thoughts, but I just want to provide some examples. So on the left, you might write something like, you did awesome at yoga class. So this is whatever you're telling yourself, right? I did awesome at yoga class today. Or that shirt looks really good on you. That dress looks really good on you. Those boots look really good on you. Or you are kind, or you are kind-hearted, or you have a big heart today, or you're so thoughtful, right? So we're not forcing anything here. We are just becoming a witness to the voice in our head and the patterns of our thoughts, okay? Some examples for the right column, the negative self-talk might be, gosh, if you were just 2 sizes smaller, those jeans would fit again. Or you could have done better at that presentation. Or you are so bad at parking. Or, ugh, these wrinkles on my face, right? So you guys got it? Like that, does that make sense? The left side is going to be any of the positive talk that comes into your mind between today and tomorrow's call. And then the right side is going to be any negative self-talk, okay? Again, we're not forcing this. We're just allowing it. You can put the piece of paper in your pocket, in your purse, on your desk, wherever, so that you have it in a place that's easy to come to and just kind of jot that down. So if you're getting ready for bed tonight and you look at yourself in the mirror and you have either negative or positive self-talk, I want you to write that down, okay? So we're going to raise our consciousness, raise our awareness of what are these patterns that we've already created in our life, okay? And I want you to bring this list with you for tomorrow, and we're going to use it for part of our challenge on day 2, okay? One more thing is that I'm going to be posting a discussion question for each day, each of these 3 days. And if you participate in each of the 3 discussion questions, you'll be entered automatically into a giveaway. And it includes this super cute notebook. I loved it so much that I bought myself one. So you and I are going to have the same matching notebook, whoever wins. Isn't it cute? It's so pretty. So it's just a blank notebook. And the winner of the giveaway is going to get this super cute notebook and a fresh bundle of smudge sage, white sage that you use for smudging to help clear any of that negative talk and that lack of self-love out of our lives and start to bring in more of the positive thought ways and patterns. And then I'm also going to write you a love letter. I'm going to write you a love letter in your notebook. You can keep it in there. You can rip it out when you get the notebook, up to you. But the winner of that giveaway challenge is going to get those little bundle of self-love package from me. So I'm going to post that discussion question here in just a second. It'll be a separate post. Make sure you post all 3 days and you will be entered to win. If anyone has any questions on how to complete today's challenge, just let me know, okay? I'm sending you guys all the love in the world, and I'll see you tomorrow for day 2 of the challenge.